Good morning, everyone. I hope that you're having a fantastic day. I did want to cover something that's a little bit different today. Today, we're talking about cybersecurity. In 2020, GoDaddy had their biggest security breach ever, and they worked through it. The reason it took 2 years for them to work through it, literally until 2022, is because they changed things on their side and made upgrades and such, but a lot of the clientele did not. And so they had the same password that went unchanged, some of them 5 years old. They've never changed them, possibly. But if you've ever had an employee leave your company, if you have ever opened a new Dropbox or a new Google Drive, those types of things, any of those things are security threats and leave you vulnerable. So I wanted to talk about passwords today, especially your GoDaddy or Bluehost passwords. If it's SiteGround, that is two-factor authentication, and so I'm not as concerned about that. But if you have passwords that are not protected behind two-factor authentication, rooted either to your laptop or to your phone, then we would ask humbly that you change your passwords and update them. And if you are on GoDaddy right now for hosting, then we're asking that you allow us permission to bring you over to SiteGround. Because of the two-factor authentication, the security is just so much better. And we don't charge you for it, but we pay for the additional security. And so it's only like $5 a month, but with that additional security, we haven't had any data breaches. And so that's a big deal for us to have never had a data breach on SiteGround. Now, some of the old WordPress passwords that you may have had needs to be changed if they have not been changed. If you have a GoDaddy password for logging into your GoDaddy, that is what I'm referring to, and I will put links in below on how to change these passwords. And so the set it and forget it days are over, and you will need to update your passwords more frequently, especially, like I say, if you have any employee turnover that had access to a computer, that is a security breach. And just letting you know, it's not just the one password that we're concerned about. So if they had access to a Google Drive, then that is a vulnerability for hacking for all of your data, not just one particular document, not one particular password, but they can, if they just get into one little place, then they quite often can get into all of it. And so it's just a package deal in a lot of ways. One security measure that I would recommend is LastPass. LastPass is uh, for giving out your passwords to employees that need it, and you're able to issue them access. We have a security consultant that we brought in 2 weeks ago, and a lot of you know Alyssa Okeson. Her husband is a security consultant. He came in and worked with us through those things, and between that, we also have another one that is just for websites. We have another one that is just for Google Ads and websites as a combination. All three of them are outside contractors of ours that we pay for these things. And so we're passing this information on to you. Just change your passwords frequently if you would, please. And like I say, especially if you've had any employees that have come and gone, if you have had shared passwords, we don't share passwords with clients anymore. It is almost all delegate access, and the more delegate access our softwares get, the better. But I did want to cover these things with you, and I will put links below with how to change those passwords. They're typically fairly easy. You're typically looking at clicking on your picture in the upper right-hand corner and going to settings and then security. That is how most of them are set up. Some of them have the three dots or the three lines that you can click on and go to security or changing your password. But I will add these links as well. If you have a difficult time with this, please reach out to us and we will get that taken care of. And so I just want to go over one more process. So we have had an issue where someone has had their Google ads not recommended, where Google can find malicious software in your website. That has never happened on SiteGround. It has happened on another platform that I'm not gonna mention for legal purposes. I don't want to get sued over that. But if that's the case, we go through, we find it, and sometimes we even need to pull in an independent contractor that has software that can find that, because sometimes Google says we don't know what it is, but it's bad, and it's there, and the process just goes, hey, we've gone through, we fixed it, and we put in an appeal with Google Ads, and they'll either come back and say, yep, you're good, or no, it's still there. And they're not specific in telling us where it is, but that is overcomable. And just to walk you through the process of that, we fix it. And within 24 hours, Google Ads does get back to us and lets us know how we're doing on that. Sometimes it's quick, sometimes it's not, but it's always within 24 hours. But please, if you see a slowdown in your Google Ads, let us know. It's not just because you're being a squeaky wheel, but sometimes it's a security thing also that we would need to be made aware of. If you're with SiteGround, we pay extra to be notified if those things happen. And so we can pay for all the software in the world, but sometimes when you see a slowdown in car count, that is what alarms you to, hey, there might be a problem. So don't feel bad if you have a slow car count. Reach out to your client success manager or to me and say, hey, our leads are down. Can you take a look at this? And we'll get you taken care of. So I did want to cover this. We're in 2026 right now. The United States is at war with multiple countries, and so that also increases the world theater for hacking. And there are just a lot of people that are doing very unsavory things. Think about it this way, if you would. If you have a password, you're like, hey, this is pretty secure. And you've seen the advances in AI. AI is also being used for bad, not just for good, but it is getting better and better at cracking passwords and breaking down word fences and such. Word fence, by the way, is one of the softwares that we use to let us know if somebody is trying to hack your website. And so AI is getting better and better at that. They are getting better at fraud. They're getting better at hacking. So we just need to be more vigilant in getting our passwords changed, keeping them close to your chest. We have what's called a zero trust policy. Your company should have that as well, to where the ownership, maybe the operations manager has passwords, but not everybody. They only have the passwords that they need, and you keep track of them. And if you let them go, then those passwords and accesses are all revoked and changed. So I did want to go over this. This is an issue, and it's only going to become a bigger issue as technology gets better and better for hacking. Technology, yes, is getting better and better on the defense, but on the offense, it's also improving. There's big money in fraud. There's big money in hacking as well. And so please understand that this is very important. And I'm keeping this sweet and short and simple because I would like for you to go ahead and act on this. We're each going to be running an aggressive campaign to get everyone's access passwords changed. And so you will have your client success manager reaching out to you to get your password changed, and we won't relent until it's changed and we're sure that that is taken care of and that everything's locked down and sure. So at any rate, we appreciate you. We thank you. And if you have any questions about this, or if you need any tips on cybersecurity, we're more than happy to pass along our contractors and how they help us. And like I say, the easiest things are change your passwords frequently. That every 30 days is frequently considered in most cases, especially if you're only at one location, local service, then you really shouldn't move beyond that. Move your website to SiteGround or Bluehost that's your secondary. If it is with someone else, I would highly recommend moving it to one of those two, and then also use a password management software. So thank you so much. And that's by the way, that's LastPass or something to that effect. So please put these things into place, and we'll work on these things together as they come about. They will come about. Changing agencies won't fix it. Changing websites or hosts will in the meantime. And then, hey, if there's something better that comes out in the future, we'll tackle it together. So thank you so much, and we'll see you next week.